Hey, we're gonna be back here with the second game in this two-game set between GameSense and Waifu and Senpai as they switch sides here, and we're gonna be getting a little bit of a different look here at the teams. I am joined once again by the co-caster, Mr. Cash. How you doing, bro?
Doing well. Had a very interesting game one. See how they're gonna do in game two.
All right, and once again, I'm Pythian. Gonna be bringing this game to you live. I mean, sort of live, but sort of on delay as well. And we're gonna get right into our draft here with the bands already coming out from the teams.
Okay, game one. First ban Shadow Fiend from GameSense They don't want to deal with the raid stuff. Like I mentioned last game, I don't think it's quite as OP as it used to be. Still very strong, and they did not like facing it last game. I guess even though TA did quite well against him mid. They never really got into the jungle, didn't really deal with the stacks, and he managed to kind of get a ton of farm catch up and do quite well. Also banning out the Oracle, struggling a lot against a lot of that burst. Don't want to deal with that again as well.
5 seconds remaining.
And again, Invoker, no AD bans this time, no Lone Druid bans either.
Reserve time.
They just, there's that OD ban, Invoker OD.
Dire team pick.
Guess why when senpais consider that their keys heal or something they don't feel comfortable dealing with right now. I know some people consider OD to be probably one of the better pub farmers right now. I haven't seen him have quite as much success. Definitely seen a few pros spamming him a little bit. Good hero, very nice laner, but not sure if he's living up to all the hype that he's getting right now.
10 seconds remaining.
Definitely one of those heroes that's been banned and picked a lot early in the draft. Although a couple of times in Southeast Asia, we have seen the Invoker make it to like the last ban or last pick phase, which is pretty much an anomaly in all the regions.
Very definitely Invoker is a very nice hero, very difficult to deal with, hard to completely shut down. But it's again one of those if you gotta have an Invoker player. I think someone's real comfortable in Invoker can be absolutely monstrous and dominating on him, and someone who's not too comfortable on him. I think it's getting a little bit too much of a bad rap. Every time somebody I see pick Invoker, someone picks Invoker in pubs, people just flame him and talk shit about him. I'm not much of an Invoker player myself, but I think it's a little unfair how much hate they get nowadays.
Do you think
Juggernaut,
it's
very
more or
solid.
less hate than say a Legion jungle?
Uh, I guess I don't see that quite as often in 5K. It runs into that once in a while. Honestly, Legion Jungle is not. If you know, it's one of those things. If you know what you're doing, you can have a 7-minute blink at a Legion Jungle, and blink dual mid and win other people's lanes. But you sacrifice your lanes for it. You got honestly for pubs specifically, I think you got to have a more positive mentality. In pubs, you don't have to have a professional draft. You can win with the craziest, most unorthodox picks. Greedy play is not always bad because pubs tend to be very bad at punishing it, even at high level. Unless you got some real skilled bounty hunter players, some really annoying Riki players, or really good roamers. You a lot of times can very much get away with junglers. You just can't play as aggressive in your other lanes. So in your pubs, stay positive, and feel free to flame once they fail. I think you'll win a few more games. At least that's how I try to go about it.
A bit of a different look here from Waifu and Senpais as they go for that Darkseer, which wasn't banned out this time. Was banned out early in the last match, but now it's going to be played, and we have seen it being used quite a bit. I think most notably in my mind, as I just spent, I think, 130 minutes on a match with the Darkseer, who ended up looking like a Super Saiyan by the end of it. He had a bunch of fire and flames and magic bubbles all around him for most of the end of that match. Unfortunately, he was being played by...
Unfortunately, he was not. I wouldn't say played, but he was being played by Swindles, I believe. He's the offlaner for Complexity now. And that bug's been around since Source 1 with too many particles going around. He just kind of bugs out and goes pretty crazy. Goes Super Saiyan on, as you were saying. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so all the particles were going crazy in that match, and he did get some pretty good walls off, but it wasn't enough to propel Complexity to the win there. And in the end, Archon ended up taking the series 2-1. And right now they are currently playing Digital Chaos in the Winners Bracket Final in the Americas Regional Qualifier to the Shanghai Major. So there's a little bit of...
they're on break right now, so this is the best, second best Dota game going on right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Dire team back.
Actually, Darkseer was banned in the second phase last game, so I guess Waifu and Senpai are smelling the blood in the water. They're taking the fear of GSBoys and drafting it in first phase. Although I'm kind of surprised he drafted against Juggernaut because Juggernaut generally is not too bad against dealing with Darkseer. Pretty good, nice base move speed with his healing ward as well. He actually can solo against Darkseer pretty well. And with one or two decent supports, Darkseer can get zoned out pretty heavily in that lane, I believe. At least that's a matchup I'm fairly comfortable with it taking as Juggernaut. But maybe they have a very confident Darkseer player, so we'll see how that goes. If Shadow Shaman gets up to actually an Aghanim Scepter, it's a very strong combination with the Darkseer Vacuum wards, trap everybody in, splash damage. It actually can be very, very devastating combo. But it's a little further ways down. Shaman's got to get a good bit of farm before that happens. So we got the A ban coming out again. I believe some GSBoys banned A last game as well, after they already banned the Alchemist too. And the Earth Spirit, so they're Earthshaker, so they're really banning out a lot of those supports. And the Gyros picked up this time. This was the last ban for GSBoys' last game. Very strong carry. Again, this is kind of a more of a aggressive stuff as well. This is not something that they're going to necessarily want to wait for 45 minutes to do anything. Gyro gets his Aquila drums, treads up, or phase boots, and they can start running at people. Darkseer wall has been buffed a patch or two ago, so it's a lot more viable right away, longer durations, more damage early on. So you no longer have to wait for level 9, 10 to level it up. Level 6, 7 Wall of Replica is very strong and quite valuable in team fights.
Yep, Gyrocopter been picked up quite a bit in a bunch of the qualifiers. I think he's probably like the highest pick and ban rate overall, or something close. And,
very safe, very reliable, good carry, good mid game, can transition well into the late game, strong laner. So he's not super overpowered in any particular way, but he's got a lot of utility, good physical damage, magic damage. So he offers a lot of flexibility, and you can run differently. I mean, recently we saw Complexity actually run Gyro mid a couple of times with on Limp and max out the magic missile, or what's it called? Yeah, the homing missile. And very strong laner as well, even on mid. So he offers a little bit of flexibility if you know what you're doing with him.
And Gyrocopter, interesting the impact that he has in the match. Pretty good early. And he also has that late game potential, as he can go for that Divine Rapier or a bunch of huge late game items. So really a fairly safe pickup right now.
Yeah. I like the Beastmaster pick by GSBoys. It's not super popular, but it's a really nice hero, a lot of potential. Whoa, very fast pick, so this is DK right away.
So I mean, the lanes are thinking pretty transparent at this point. We got the safe lane Jug, offlane Beastmaster, mid DK. DK with a new buff to his passive Dragon Blood, giving a lot of reach and a lot of armor. He's if you're not super greedy with him, he's extremely difficult to kill mid for just about anybody. Even with a Shadow Shaman smoking and a Visage, he's going to be, I think, very difficult to kill. We haven't seen him in mid just yet. I don't know. It's got to be. I don't know who else can kill him at this point. He is just so tanky.
It's a pretty good support combo for Waifu and Senpai's Visage and Gyrocopter, and you also have the Shadow Shaman to help out there. I mean, how scared do you think this Beastmaster should be in the offlane?
Well, I don't think Beastmaster should have too much trouble with
if he's got his birds up to give him vision and slow on the board, it's not very difficult for Beastmaster to position himself. And if they're spending too much time trying to pressure in bottom with the new hard camp, the Beastmaster can just back up and farm that hard camp, or even stack the ancients, and then farm the ancients with the DK later on. I think Beastmaster's a pretty solid offlaner, and he can do quite well against those. If he's out of position, he gets picked up in no time. Slow into Hex Shackled, and he's dead. And GSBoys again was a relatively greedy lineup again. Not the strongest lanes with that Chen pickup at the end. I think Chen has a ton of potential. I think he's got, with all the additional creep camps, with some of the smaller buffs that he's gotten to Penitence, to his Holy Persuasion, getting more creeps to level 2, 3, 4, I think he can be really, really strong. But because Waifu and Senpai has such a strong early and mid game, It just seems so greedy. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. Darkseer is going to put pressure on top. I'm not sure. I don't know how well Undying is going to be able to zone out a Darkseer. They have Viper mid, so DK is not going to have an amazing time. He shouldn't die, but he's not going to be super free farming in the lane by any means.
All right.
And,
well, we're going to get into this match here, and we're going to introduce our players for just a second. We're going to have moving target on the Darkseer for waifus and senpais. Got Shadow Shaman played by Streetlight. Senj on the Visage this time. The Viper going to be handled by Critesia. And finally, that big gyrocopter fly in the friendly skies, played by Coffee King. And then for Game Sense Boys, we've got Pretty Boy on the Juggernaut this time. Chen with the mustache, played by Cabbage. The Beastmaster going to be handled by Best Bubble off in that lane at the bottom. And Dragon Knight going to be handled by PK. And finally, the support Undying. It's going to be that Zac Efron fan. I'm going to head right into this match here.
The battle begins.
Yeah, Beastmaster's cutting out with the Burge. Now he's safe to secure the room for DK bottom to let the top lane go to Viper. Both people have a ward mid. Looks like the Raid Dire mid dropped their ward first, and they saw the Viper drop his ward down, so they might have someone come and deward that. Yeah, Chen's coming over there with his sentries. They're gonna see the smoke on his Chen right now. Honestly, if I was Chen, I probably would have dropped that smoke before coming over, just to kind of play a little mind games, so make it a little more unexpected when that gank might actually eventually come. But denying that vision to the Viper is pretty important if he does want to make use of that smoke and come and help gank mid soon, which would be very valuable.
In terms of regen, this Viper on the mid lane, he got 3 shared tangos and he already has 4 of his own, so he's really not going to have any problem with regen here for basically the entire first part of the match.
Yeah, Darkseer is playing very aggressive. He's the Undying is not doing anything. He's just taking Juggernaut XP right now. Finally pushing the Darkseer back a little bit, which is a plus. They failed to deward bottom, which is really nice for the Beastmaster. His ward doesn't block the full camp, but it gives him good vision. They still have one more sentry left, so they might not suspect where it might be. But that ward is working pretty nicely for the Beastmaster right now. He sees all the rotations and the movement. He's playing pretty good.
Viper doing a lot of harass on that mid lane, getting about to half health, but this DK can't really chunk him down too much here. One for the...
Yeah, the DK's not worried. He leveled his Dragon Blood to level 2. He's got 9 regen a second with 12 armor. This Viper's never going to solo kill him. I mean, Viper's losing more mana than the DK is losing health. He's just right-clicking all he wants. The DK is just not scared. This walking up is unnecessary. I don't think you're ever going to harass him down, but it's alright. Taking a little damage now, but he should be able to just back up and heal up. Viper got boots. That's good for him. This has got the DD, and they're pinging out the Beastmaster. It looks like they really want to go for that kill. But the Beastmaster's just playing nice and safe and not overcommitting to anything.
Darkseer forced back a little bit on the top lane, but he surges away and uses the salve to get back up to near full health.
The danger is even though he's not getting amazing, I mean, he's still firing pretty well. He's got 7 CS. He's getting really good levels, and once he gets the Soul Ring, if he gets up to level 5, it's going to be, oh, there's a gank from Chen, really well timed, unexpected, nobody saw it, no mana, perfect first blood.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I was kind of worried for the mid, but honestly, that's very, very valuable. Darkseer still sitting at level 3, didn't finish his Soul Ring, had to buy TP, and this was I think a very much needed gank, and Chen's really got to stay active, in my opinion, to really prevent that mid-game timing advantage coming in too early for waifu and senpais. Oh, Darkseer coming in stealing creep from Chen. That's a little unfortunate for him. 74 gold going the other way, and at the meantime, in the Radiant jungle, we have Shaman and Visage smoking up, going on mid. And like I was saying, if the ATK plays greedy, like he is right now, he's gonna die. But if he's up on his high ground, they should not have enough damage to actually kill him.
Viper getting pretty low on mana right now. And now Chicken. And now there's another Shackle. PK getting about half health. There's a nice soul assumption. Takes the Dragon Knight low enough for the Viper to finish him off with the Nether Toxin damage.
A little too cocky, even though I guess he thought he could do that because he did actually level 3 points into Dragon Blood. I think it was a little excessive. He definitely does want that stun and his Breath of Fire to be able to farm. But he went for that Soul Ring Dragon Blood build, which I'm not sure if that's optimal, but it's definitely an option. So you can just kind of basically spam up his Breath of Fire and always regen everything back up.
Oh, there could be another stun here on the moving target. Moving target takes one stun. There's a tombstone. There's two. And moving target getting pretty low. He can't even get out. He's getting blocked in. There's a nice vacuum to try to get out. And in the end, the damage, not going to be enough. It's an Undying. And now Cabbage, he's trying to hit down a catapult. In the end, he does get out.
Yeah, Visage definitely was a good use. It was nice to get a Visage to help him, keeping him alive.
Yeah, that was actually a perfect target for the slow, because Chen was the only one that was ranged doing damage to the Darkseer right there, which probably helped him get out.
One hit more and he would have been dead. But at this point, Darkseers I think is in pretty good shape. They can actually just leave Visage top to get some XP and maybe try to get his boots. And Darkseer can actually just jungle with his Ion Shell leveled up now. But he decides to come back up top. Let's see if they're going to try to pressure the Juggernaut more. He's still level 5. No mana pool. And it's fortunate to use the spin as well. A lot of good bit of pressure on the Juggernaut, but he's still farming pretty well. DK is actually doing really well mid. He's playing so aggressive. He's actually out CSing the Viper, which is honestly a really good job by PK. He really, even with max Dragon Blood, he honestly should not be dominating the link quite that much. Viper should be able to control that a lot easier.
Got a Shackle here on the Beastmaster at bottom. He has level 5. There's a nice Ether Shock, and they're not going to be able to catch up to that Beastmaster. Walking pretty fast. He does have those. Doesn't even have boots, actually. He's just 310 move speed, and Coffee King was a little bit low already, so not too willing to go in on that. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, we've got Dragon Knight taking a Soul Assumption, and Viper is going to take the last hit with a Nether Toxin, using the first Dragon's form there, and that's probably not what you want to do with that, as usually you want to do at least some damage to the tier 1 tower when you use that skill.
He was hoping that the extra 25 move speed that you get with the Dragon form would help him get away, but unfortunately he did not get that lucky. And even though he was keeping up with CS quite well, his net worth, because of his deaths, his net worth to the Viper is way down. So he's not having quite as good of a game this time as he was in the TLS game.
So the first kill with the level 6 on the mid lane goes to the Viper. And right now, Waifu and Senpai with a little bit of an advantage right now. Not too much, but it is only the early game, and the game is still afoot. So we're going to stay with it and do the best we can to cover it. Right now, this Gyrocopter, he's going to get the Helmet Dominator, so he's skipping the boots. What do you think about that?
It's okay for the regen. I guess you might want to just dominate your creep and stock Ancients right away. I think it's a little bit unusual for the Gyro, because it's not something I honestly do in pub sometimes. I don't think I would ever skip the boots, but yeah, he dominates the creeps right away. Probably sends to the Ancients to get those stacks up. It's kind of more of a late game commitment, honestly. That's not something you would do when you're like expecting to play early mid game. You know, treads, drums, Aquila usually is what you get the most advantage of early mid game. I'm sure he's getting picked up his boost now. Yeah. It seems not optimal because he's probably not going to have much damage to farm the Ancients for quite a while anyway. So rushing that helm so quickly is it seems a little extreme, but. They never really managed to get that kill on the Beastmaster, and probably won't now anymore either since he's got his war.
Darkseer on the top lane eventually goes down. He got the Surge, but it wasn't really enough. He had to try to juke around a little bit as Chen was taking a lot of space with his creeps.
Yeah, and Chen didn't even use the smoke for that gank, so still the smokes available. I would really like for the Dire team to group up a little bit, not all together, maybe just 3 or 4 man, Chen, DK, Undying, and make space for the Juggernaut to farm while they take some towers and get some much needed gold for the team.
Yeah,
because they need to pick up an item or two to really put more pressure on the Radiant.
Yeah, they definitely have the tools to do it, as they have the Chen army and the Dragon form, and they also have a Beastmaster ult to go through. So maybe after they take this top tier one, they would do something. It's possible.
The tier 1 itself is good. It looks like instead of making space for the Jug, they're making space for the DK instead, who picks up his power treads, which is an okay option as well. It looks like Juggernaut is going for that battle through, so we're doing 10 for Pretty Boys, who do their heart to really run the carry bottom. Meanwhile, Beastmaster just get caught bottom with the Shackle and the Magic Missile, and the Viper dies middle somehow to DK.
So a couple kills happening around the map here, and the second Dragon form rather put to a little bit of use. PK already at level 9. I know that it is sometimes rather difficult to get up to the second level in the Dragon form, but PK already pretty far ahead here.
Yeah, he's doing a good job farming both the lane and kind of catching up on the jungle a little bit as well.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
a little bit out of position, getting netted by the troll up top. Nice vacuum push to get the team back. And Juggernaut uses his ultimate, but it's not quite enough damage yet. They used the tombstone. They committed a lot. They got the kill. Juggernaut's diving deeper. He's going in. He does not have a TP. The TP got canceled by the opponent team. And he wants to get out. And he looks like he's going to get away scot-free. Maybe. Hit by the tower. Hit twice. And he's dead.
Oh, man.
And the channel comes in too late. Oh, it's unfortunate.
That was, I don't know. That can only be described as a misplay. Like, he waits until all the creeps are gone.
Straight up. He didn't notice that TP got canceled from the enemy team. He saw the TP coming in and he ran down, tried to juke him in the trees. He didn't notice TP get canceled and didn't turn around quite in time. It's just unfortunate.
Oh, another stun here onto moving target, but he's going to be fine. Here comes the Viper and surged in, and he also has that Viper roll going onto the Chen. The Zac from Fan just going to TP out. He's not going to get interrupted at all, and Chen, he's going to take the fall here. You cannot stop that Viper from attacking. And the healing word not going to be enough there.
I'm not a big fan of Beastmaster kind of spending too much time bottom. He actually just TP'd right back into bottom lane. He did actually kill the Shadow Shaman solo kill on them with his first roar, I believe. But in these situations, I think for the offlaner, it's more effective just even if you're losing a bit of experience, just walk back into the lane, and if some fights like up top is happening, to TP in and help out your team. Unless they expect him to get a 20-minute necro and provide a ton of help to the team, he's just kind of taking up a lot of space and not helping a whole lot to the rest of the team at this point.
Alright, and let's take our first look at the XP and gold graphs as we also... Well, it's actually a lot closer than we thought for XP and the gold. Yep, same. Actually going in favor of JDL here.
Yeah, with the Chen, I mean, they definitely, like we're saying, I think their lineup is a little greedier. They take more farm, they can farm more. But Gyro's starting to get his stacks up on Ancients already. He's catching up quite a bit. They're stacking more for him. He's stacking his own hard camp and his Ancients. So, and he's getting his drums up. He's going back for the drums. So he just needs a little bit of damage. Maybe get a Yasha with drums, and he can farm up those ancient stacks very quickly, and really become a formidable force. Because he's not getting much pressure on him at all. Even though he doesn't have the best levels, his farm is just gonna skyrocket at this point if he's not contested. And you could say they're buying a lot of space for him up top. Just Darkseer, Viper, they're 1 or 2 mans coming up top, and they're just buying so much space for them. Chen is really committing a lot of resources to really shutting down this Darkseer, but he's really not doing a whole lot about this Viper. Meanwhile, DK is just kind of going back and jungling, picking up that Yasha. It's a nice mobility item. Eventually, Gold Sign and Yasha Mantle, both items are pretty good on him.
Yeah, at top, the Juggernaut used the Magic Stick charges to try to get enough mana for the Omni Slash, and also got the Arcane Boots in the side there, but at that time, the Darkseer was a bit too far away in order to use that Omni Slash, which possibly could have netted them, probably actually would have netted them the kill onto the Darkseer, but just a little bit too late there.
Radiant, I think, is definitely taking both games, taking a much better, they have farming patterns and farming rotations, they have much better stacking, and just overall take better advantage of the farmer have available to them. As you can see, like during the passive times when no fighting is going on, they kind of jump ahead on farm and experience, but because not sure why they're not doing quite as well in these team fights. We'll see how that happens here. They're kind of sitting behind tier 1. Gyro using his ultimate. Healing ward still down. Viper picks up the healing ward. Visage getting stunned by the Centaur. Everyone's kind of splitting up a little bit. Shaman's coming from the sides. Wards are available. They're not being used yet. Shackle first. Chen ult. Visage finishes up Beastmaster. Juggernaut goes down. The Serpent Wards still haven't been used. Everyone's kind of grouping up over here. Now they're dropped. Not in the best position, but it'll probably keep Shaman alive.
The nice vacuum by the Darkseer eventually chunks down the Undying, and now PK trying to get away. He is burning down a little bit, but he is going to eventually get up there. Could be an Aether Chuck. Will he get in range? Ooh, not just yet. He's not really fast enough. And, oh, there's also an Ion Shell. Surge. They could get PK. Will they get him? Oh, here comes the Shadow Shaman. Not going to be in range just yet.
There's the Yasha. The Yasha saved him. The Yasha just gave him enough movement speed. The Shaman was starting his Shackle animation, but it was just a little bit out. DK and run out of range of it. Yeah, the Serpent Wards didn't do a whole lot, but they should be able to trade with tier 1 for tier 1. Viper's TPing bottom. He's going to try to get the kill on the Juggernaut. He doesn't know. He thought that the ultimate might be down already. It is not, and this could be very bad for him because he's got no creeps behind him. He's taking a lot of damage. Here's the Chen creeps, and Viper's going to be a free kill. That was a little bit greedy by him. He just saw an opportunity, kind of wanted to go for it, and it really backfired him pretty hard with 3 people getting a chunk of the action there. I was actually over 1,000 gold swing and over 1,000 XP swing just from the Viper death alone down there, and then probably another free tier 1 as well. So they got mid and bottom from that. Tombstone drop just to be safe. Make sure they see the TP's coming in. Nobody is coming. Good news for the Radiant team is Darkseer did finish up his mech, so they do have a little bit stronger team fight going on now, as well as the Medallion on the Visage. There's quite a bit of big nice stacks for on the Radiant team, but you see the bird scouting it out. They can't see my pings, can they? There's no right. That would be really bad.
What was that?
They can't see spectator pings, right?
No, they can.
Pings?
Yeah,
they can.
No, they can.
Okay.
No, they can't see me draw or anything.
Okay. Like they see me pinging out, the Angel's like, what are the casters pinging over there? No, that would be really bad. Okay, so yeah, big stacks for Gyro, and he's definitely able to farm them. His Yasha's almost done. It'll be really easy. Shaman drops his wards to defend bottom tower. I think that's a little excessive. Now there's a good chance that the Dire team might try to smoke up and take a fight somewhere else. With Shaman wards down, they actually Shadow Shaman's not gonna be able to offer nearly as much for this team fight. I don't think they've seen the mech on the Darkseer yet. Another 30 seconds for Omni Slash.
Came in a little bit far up. Gonna get hit by that troll. There is a stun, and now he's gonna get slowed down by the boar. He also gets slowed down by the Chen. Walking very slow here. He eats through the tree, and he's going to also get smacked by a Mud Golem. Undying takes the kill there with the Soul Rip, and now the Viper Strike onto the Dragon Knight. Gyrocopter drops down the cooldown. There was a yell on the other side. Tombstone goes down. Gonna take the wide angle view here. Coffee King trying to get out. He's got to get away from PK. PK. He's actually getting sent back right now and is healing up. Coffee King goes down. And now the Dire going to sound the tree as they... Okay, there's another stun onto the Visage. Visage still trying to get out of the Viper. Doing as much damage as they can. Dragon Knight comes back, and there's an Omni Slash going through everybody. Pretty Boy gets a kill onto the Darkseer, and now they want to try to go for Crutacia. Crutacia trying to get out. There's a Soul Assumption onto Pretty Boy, and he's actually going to turn around, and they're still trying to pursue out Crutacia. Oh, he's down to 10 health, and he's going to... Oh, the Breathe Fire. Ends up denying him... denying him the deny to the neutral creeps.
Chen gets hexed up mid, but there's really not a lot of threat to him. They kind of turn, and they're still going on mid. They're out of position. They're still out of position.
The Dragon's still in Dragon form, and he gets a triple kill, securing that with the Breathe Fire. PK just being pretty damn awesome in this match, and
that fight started with Shaman being a little bit out of position, and the rest of his team coming really late turned around. They had the choice of either letting him die or turning around quick with Darkseer coming in and trying to kind of catch everyone clumped up, but they kind of waited for the Viper to DP in an ult, and it was really late turnaround, and a very poor trade for Waifu and Senpais.
Alright, well, the Dire, they're not going to quite finish off this tier 2 tower just yet. There is another wave of creeps coming in. The cooldown is going to get dropped by the Gyrocopter. Meanwhile, the Dire, they are long and far gone, and that tower is going to be above deny range right now. PK backs up, goes to farm. He's got the Sanjin Yasha. I guess he's working on a Black King bar as well. And we haven't taken a look at items.
Firing his ancient stacks right now. Got his Yasha and Drums finished, so this is the perfect time to clear them pretty quickly with a couple of flat cannon uses.
After the fight, the Juggernaut was able to finish off that Battle Fury, so the farm is going to accelerate a little bit here.
It makes him a lot stronger in fights as well. The cleave really helps quite a bit with his ultimate.
XP Graph was in favor of the waifus and Senpai, but is now 3,000 in favor of GameSense Boys. And the gold, pretty much the same story. GameSense Boys coming back in this match. The healing ward is going to go down. Juggernaut has an Omni Slash in 1. Oh, he's not in range for it. He again misses the Darkseer.
Would have been a little risky. He might have killed him, but with the mech, the Darkseer is relatively tanky. There's a good chance that he would have killed him. It probably is better to save it for a more useful team fight. The Gyro finally finds up his Ancients and really catches up a lot in his net worth in the second in the game, just a little bit behind DK. And Viper's been falling a little bit behind. Going for his Sanjin as well.
Shen finds a mud golem in the jungle, also has a couple of other animals in his zoo. And we'll see what their next objective is on this map. I guess they could be grouping up for a push at bottom, although they don't have the Dragon Knight with them right now.
Ideally, they'd want to get either a kill or a pick off. They have really good map control already, and then go secure their Roche with Chen. It's quite easy to get a Roche as well. Nice creep Chen and Beastmaster. Juggernaut does nice enough DPS. It's quite easy to secure. They just need a little bit of a little more comfort, a little more space to make sure they're not contested, because with Darkseer and Gyro, that is a lot of AoE. You don't want to be all caught in a tiny little place, in a tiny little pit.
The Dire just grouping up to help Pretty Boy farm in the jungle. Got a little bit of a farming party right here as PK. He's just going to clear up his own. The Viper has made it to the Sanjin Yasha, so he is getting that farm up. It is pretty difficult to get some farm on the Viper, as he doesn't really have too many wave queuing or AoE things to do.
I mean, with his poison, it's not too bad, but that's why Midas on Vipers is quite common nowadays. Even as a lot of people go mech and they'll go back for a Midas, because it really is pretty big. When games become a little more passive, he really doesn't farm nearly as well as so many other heroes, and he does have a tendency to fall behind. So that Midas makes a big difference, and it synergizes pretty well with him anyway. What he does need that attack speed really substantially increases his DPS and team fights as well, so it's a pretty good item. Necro first Necro book is up on Beastmaster. And they're all kind of sitting. It looks like the Darkseer is looking to smoke up right now. A nice Chen army ready. Okay, there goes their smoke. This is just kind of positioned on the high ground. There's a Hawk vision over them though, so they feel pretty comfortable going in. They have good advanced vision, good warding in their jungle. Actually, so they see where everybody is.
And now they could catch out the Darkseer. Here comes Chen. He's leading the way. Meanwhile, on the backside, there is a Dragon Knight tail onto the Gyro. Here comes the call down. The Dragon Knight hasn't used the... Well, he doesn't have a BKB. He is still building it.
Oh, really nice Serpent Wards trapping in the DK. He is stuck right now.
Oh, man. The 5-man vacuum into wall. They're going to take it. And there is a lot of damage going through. Lots of illusions all over the place. Dragon Army battle in the middle there. Darkseer trying to get out of this alive. Cabbage manages to stay alive through all that. Takes the Viper strikes to the face, but it doesn't matter. Dragon Knight continues to go through the wall, and they are going to clean up the wards. That's a full 5-man team wipe, in case you were wondering. And it was in response 2 went down for GameSense Boys. So they take a pretty convincing fight there. Now, I mean, there's a haste rune, and they have the ability to go in for Roshan. Yeah,
it's definitely worth it. It's not going to be super fast because they don't have the Shin army did get cleared up. But they're gonna be shouldn't have too much trouble doing it regardless. They really should let DK tank it. I'm actually not sure if Undying used his Hood of Defiance new ability in that fight either. It does have the new barrier lock on it. It would be quite nice to actually tank in, and I'm not sure if he even remembers that's there.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew it was there. I didn't know it was there. I guess that was just added.
Yeah, it's just like a spell shield for Ember, same thing. And it just you can't cast it on other people. You can only cast it on yourself, but you can basically use it, and it creates a spell shield on your hero. So it's real nice on heroes like Undying, Centaur. Nice little bonus for a lot of these early fights. Makes the Hood of Defiance a more value item. Definitely really nice. Chen taking a lot of damage. Can he TP out in time? He does. Very clutch TP over there for Chen. But they're a little out of. Not sure if they're suspecting the Roche, but yeah, they see it with the birds, but it's a little late.
And the bird's unable to...
the Darkseer checking too late. It's not worth it.
Yep. Beastmaster yells at the Darkseer, and they end up taking a couple kills on the birds as well. The bird's unable to disable the heroes in the...
bird ill. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of bird gold.
Yeah, they're unable to disable the heroes in the Roche Fit.
That is considered very cruel punishment by bird law.
Yeah, someone called the Audubon Society.
I'm gonna call Charlie Kelly. He's my lawyer.
Oh. Alright, so here comes the push in through the bottom lane. Radiant have spent a lot of resources trying to defend this. The snakes are up if they wanted to drop those. And now the Dragon Knight ulti. Oh man, they're going right into the Shadow Shaman. He's just sitting there. He gets
Really
sucker
good
punched in the
position
face.
by the bird.
And now the call down comes through. Dragon Knight, he uses the BKB. Pretty boy, he's taking so much damage. He's just walking in. He gets the Aegis pop though. And now the Dragon Knight is just him alone. The vacuum doesn't actually take them through the wall. And PK, he's trying to get that gyrocopter illusion out of there. Get that gyro out of here, and they eventually take him out, as well as the tier 2 tower. PK seems to want to go through that, and he does, making an illusion of himself. They don't really seem to care too much right now, and I guess the push here is going to go onto the mid lane, with Chen already going over there with the catapult. Dragon Knight battling up the backdoor regen here, but this tier 2 tower, not long for this world, as eventually they take it out, and this pushing lineup looking pretty strong right now.
Yeah, Chen, I think that was the biggest trouble with a lot of Chen players, is they're not active enough early on. I think Cabbage did a really good job, even though most of his time was committed to the top lane. He really secured a lot of farm for a safe laner and put a lot of pressure on Darkseer. And, you know, Darkseer's still doing alright, he could be doing so much better. Really good Hawk again by Beastmaster. They should have seen that smoke if they're paying attention. He's really giving them a lot of vision and map control, and Waifu and Senpais are really not too attentive of that. They're not really expecting it. He does get caught, didn't back up fast enough, drops his Necro. That's a little bit of a mistake. He dies.
Yep.
Does he feed the Necros? Yeah, he feeds the Necros. A lot of gold for the Radiant team as well. That's one of the bigger concerns, is if they don't actually push and then scrim early, the Chen creeps and the Necro books do feed quite a bit of gold. A lot of people don't realize, and they kind of have a tendency to just kind of feed him away over and over and kind of give away their advantage.
Couple of TPs here onto the top lane. The call down comes through. Moving Tarkin looking for the wall here, and he is going to get it off. Nice ward trap onto the Dragon Knight. He's just sitting there with the BKB though. He can stand there and fight. Moving target goes down. Coffee King in trouble. Here comes the Juggernaut. He's sparing. He's winning. He's going to take down the Gyrocopter. Actually gets the kill on the Undying, and the Undying actually blocking out the Dragon Knight there. Dragon Tail onto the Viper. He's got wings too, and he's gonna fly. Viper trying to fly away. And he's going to get the fire breathed on him. In the end, the Undying slaps him in the face. That's a double kill for Zac Efron fan. In the end, they will be trying to take out that tier 2 tower top. They got 2 birds in. They got the Frost Ogre there as well. And the Frost Dragon Knight, he's hitting things with ice, and he's slowing him down. And he is going to keep going down that top tower.
And Shaman hiding in the trees, and this Dire team is just so tanky. They have a pipe, they have a mech, they have a tanky DK. Undying with stealing a bunch of strength. He's got 4 DK stacks on him. The Juggernaut's not super tanky, but he's providing a lot of DPS at the start of these fights, and they're just cleaning up their base at this point. There's not Darkseer's wall of replicas down, and there's one Visage Bird left alive. Juggernaut has this healing ward healing everybody. It's just, there's so much sustain on this team.
Yeah, and the Radiant, they used most of their ultimates in the last team fight. They can't really do anything, and the first racks of the match goes the way of GameSense Boys, and they're just going to back up here. 22 kills to 11, and the XP pretty much in their favor right here.
Yeah, with the Necro 3s up on Beastmaster now, they're still off cooldown. Anytime they take a push on their way back, they can clear up all map vision. I mean, I don't even see it. It seems like there's no wards for the Radiant team on the map at all right now. There's a couple of deep ones up on really far out that really don't offer them much. They're about to expire. So they're trying to group up here. They kind of try to go for a gank without a smoke. They just walk past the ward. Try to pick off the Chen here.
Yeah, Chen pretty far up in the mid lane, and Shaman. Oh man, this is the dead Chen. Once again, Tom the feeder, hanging out on the mid lane. I guess you could say he's pretty aggressive, but there's a fine line between being aggressive and being a feeder.
Feeding that catapult now too. It's terrible. That was actually, it might not seem like a lot, but when you have a big of an advantage on towers and net worth, that was a almost a 1,500 gold swing just from that Chen kill alone, especially because a lot of people were so part of that kill. So it's really something you got to be careful about, getting kind of cocky or loosening it up and not being as focused on the game and just kind of giving away things like that can really turn around on you. But they have such a huge advantage. 2 lanes of racks. They definitely have a lot of room for error. They can make there's quite a lot of mistakes they can get away with at this point. So it would be bad if the DK or Drug got caught there, but Shannon's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, and
He's
that's the
alive
case
with
on
his
a lot of
ultimate now.
teams. You have these players who they see good players on their team, and they're like, you know what, I could play well here. I could just, play the best I can, but I don't really like these guys, and I want to make the game as difficult as possible for them. So I have to feed, and I think that's what you see with Mushi a lot. A lot of the players on his team, they gotta feed, they gotta do stupid things, so it makes it harder for him to win. And I guess that's kind of the same case here. I mean, Tom's just gotta feed.
Yeah, same thing with OG. 8K MMR. This is just they stick around, buy Midases, and yell at each other to simulate his environment in pubs. Poor miracle.
All right. Well, the AC has been completed on Dragon Knight, and in terms of the other items, Gyrocopter's still going for that BKB. Hasn't quite gotten it yet. There's a Dragon Lance on the Viper. Hey, I got that item right for the first time ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's kind of odd to go backwards so late. He can defend a little bit safer from further apart, but I'm not sure how much value it's going to offer when the dire team can close distance so early. There's a blink up on Beastmaster. I guess they haven't seen that yet. Basher, Sanjin Yasha, Battlefield, and Juggernaut. So he's just going to run at them and use his ultimate and probably kill at least 2 people right off the bat at this point.
All right, well, the push going to come in on the bottom lane in Cabbage. He's actually stealing some creeps from mid. He'll also push it out so that they have a couple of creeps pushing in there. Necro 3 going to get dropped by the Beastmaster. That seems to be the one item that he's able to build here. PK just going up and hitting the tower in the Dragon form. They can't really do too much against him right now, and they're running out of time to do something as well.
Darkseer's looking for an opportunity, just sitting back, looking for a blink in, vacuum wall, seeing what he can do. People are getting a little grouped up. His blink got canceled, but he got the vacuum wall, but he's dead right away. Him and Viper dead. Everyone's going down.
Nice Beastmaster word, and there is going to be a double kill on the Dragon Knight. They clean up the wards. Shannon creeps. There's a big tomato going down. The Hand of God used a little bit late, but it does heal up everything else on the map. And the second set of racks going to go in favor of Game Sense Boys and over the rotation, and that's it. That's it. GGWP called by Waifus and a Senpai, and it's a split. The match set goes 1-1, and that's going to be it for them. Game Sense Boys showing a little bit more life in that second match. And that's going to do it for them, and it's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining. Once again, I'm Pythian. This has been Mr. Cash. And
thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. And, well, as always.